guys? We're going to continue our Alamo City Golf Trail Tour series, South Texas Matchplay Challenge. We're going to have our, I think it's first or second captain, Jason Bird today. He is also the first alternate for the South Texas Matchplay. He's going to give us his insights and what he's looking most forward to at the South Texas Matchplay. Thanks for joining the show, Jason. I appreciate it, bro.
No problem. Glad to be here.
So what got you interested in joining the tour?
Well, I started playing golf about 5 years ago, maybe 5.5 years ago, and come from a strong football, baseball, softball background. So was looking for competition. Thought I was up to snuff, and definitely was not. So that was I think Lucas mentioned that in his interview, that you think you're at one level when you're really not. And so it was just a wake up call. And of course, I relish in the challenge, so I've stuck around since.
What keeps you coming back to the tour?
The tour itself is just well run. I like the structure. I like that player input is taken seriously. I know every year there's a little committee that meets together to come across the most complained items and to see if we can fix it for people and still make it equitable to all people playing on tour. So I like that Travis makes a focus to stay equitable to everybody. I like that the tour is run efficiently. I like that it's 1 and 2 day events, maybe not always 3 or 4 day events, and the price is right and the courses are always in pretty decent shape.
So what would you tell us that I guess it's Travis has his group of guys, and I know you're one of the guys that really helps out and does a lot of the legwork and makes it easy for guys like me to just kind of show up and play. So would you say that group that y'all have is pretty tight knit and pretty committed to the players?
Yeah, so Travis started the ambassador program towards the end of last season and all of this season. The ambassador program has been a great success. They're volunteers. Everyone's a volunteer to go marshal. We've gotten pace of play down by a few minutes, and any minutes is good minutes, especially when you have open play behind you. I do everything I can to help Travis. So in my professional life, I make money doing IT engineering. So business process optimization. So I sat down with Travis one day. I said, "Hey, dude, you need to tell me exactly what you do every week to get tee times and to get people paid and how this works." And he showed me his process. And I think my biggest contribution to him was I was able to get his 4 to 8 hours of work every week down to 1 or 2 hours just by running database optimization and automated scripting and queries and stuff like that for him.
Damn, dude. So you're the time saver is what you're saying.
Most of my contributions happen on the back end. I'm not one of the ambassadors that's out marshaling most of the time. Sometimes I hang out in the clubhouse and do my ambassadorizing that way.
So what would you say, what type of friendship that you and Travis have?
Pretty good friendship. I can count on his call 2 or 3 times a week at 7:30 a.m. to talk about how we can make the tour better. He always has ideas. I have ideas. How we can make the new spin-off, the tour travels, better. It's always about how we can make it better for the client or customer, so to speak. But everyone on tour is our friends. That's how we view it. We want to put out a good package for people to go play tournaments or go do some golf travel, and it still be a good value, but a lot of fun and something that they couldn't get if they just went by themselves,
Well, I'm going to tell you, I play in several leagues, and I also play with the Golf Fellowship. And I think Kerry, who runs the Golf Fellowship, he does a great job because it seems like y'all have very successful leagues. And what makes y'all successful is that you really put the client or you put the customer first. You want to make it a great experience to where they continually come back and, tell their friends about y'all.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest compliment we get is when people bring their friends, right? Because now we have exhibited that we can put out a good product that one person enjoyed in such a way that they want to bring somebody else to it, right? So that's why we try to mix in partner events. That way you have a way to introduce your friends to the tour, because sometimes people don't want to come in on an individual event. So it's like, hey, bring your buddy for a partner event and see what it's all about.
Yeah, but you know what? For me, that could be trouble, man. Because me and my partner, we'll be throwing blows out there, because we'll be at each other's throats. And
Some emotional golfers, huh?
well, I look at it this way. I was like, you know what? I don't want somebody to compliment me well. I just want another alpha. I want two alphas. I want just to just to go at it.
There is no sorry in alt shot, right?
Well, there is, but it's really once you've left the course. All right.
Yes.
Now, as we go into this South Texas match play with Houston, what do you think is going to be some of the toughest things for some of the guys on the team to overcome?
Well, I mean, I know this has been brought up once, but we have a lot of rookies and we're traveling, and it's very possible that we are going to give up more strokes. So, putting these rookies in a position during practice rounds to have to give up strokes in a match play is key. We want them to be familiar with the situations, familiar with the math in their head, So, a lot of these guys may not be used to giving up strokes. So, we want to make sure that those kind of people in our practice rounds are at least familiar with, okay, I give this guy a stroke. When can I be aggressive? When I don't need to be aggressive? What holes I need to win? Which holes I really need to try and push? Stuff like that.
Now, I think for me being a teacher and a coach professionally, I think I always tell the kids we have to practice purposely. We have to practice
Yes.
with a certain intent. And so, is that something that as you have the practice rounds, that you kind of instructing the guys or reminding, especially those first timers, in regards to giving strokes or because it seems like, man, the team looks stacked, dude. You have a lot of low handicappers, and that champions group especially. It's hard to come out of that group every week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the championship flight, and it is absolutely a dogfight to come out of there. I know that I've already played a couple rounds with some guys here and there, and I've told them situations they need to be on the lookout for in match play. It's a different beast. It's not like stroke play. Like the biggest one I tell people is if someone plays out of turn, it's not just ho hum. Look at their shot. If that shot was good, make them redo it. Because in match play, you can't play out of turn. Uh, and you just got to have that killer instinct to be able to call someone on that. You don't want to be meek and think, oh, well, I don't want to be that guy. It's like, no, he played out of turn without permission and make him redo the shot. That's a big one. And certain penalties, are usually just stroke penalties, but now are losses of hole or are no penalty in match play or something like that. So I think informing people of the rules gives them the tools they need to succeed, but they also need to have situational awareness to know what's happening and what they can do about it. Sometimes you can do something about it.
Damn, that's a good point, man. I never, like you got me scratching my head over here. And that's what I love about running this podcast is that I felt like I've learned so much from my guests that I've had on the show. And that's why this podcast is called Nothing is OB. Like, I like how you said that, like, hey, you just, you know what, if they're out of turn, you got to call them on it. And there's nothing wrong with being that guy. Cause I actually pride myself on being that guy.
I mean, I've done it in the past to the Houston team. The guy ended up hitting another pretty decent shot, but I mean, just put yourself in that situation where you got called out, you actually committed the infraction, and now you got to go rehit. Now everybody's watching you. You got to go do that again. Now, of course, if the guy plays out of turn and shanks one OB, you're gonna go ahead and put your head down, let that one stand.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that one go.
Yeah.
So what's something that you're looking forward to the most as we make your way to Houston this year?
I'm just looking forward to hanging out with my friends. Everyone on tour is my friend. Everyone on the team for sure is my friend. I look forward to being out there in my golf cart, helping guys out. The way I think about it is assistant captain is just like everybody's caddy, right? So I can give the entire team advice and cruise around and go to key matches. And Travis and I are going to identify key matches before they start, so we know we can help out who's going to need the help. We obviously have our veterans who are probably self-sufficient, so probably focus in on rookies or first-time match play players and make sure that they're doing what they need to do to be effective.
Now, how is your role going to be different as opposed to in several years that you've, that you've played, that been on as a player and now as a captain?
Well, I mean, Could be a lot different, especially this is my fourth team. Third one, I played in three, and now I'm gonna captain one. I know my first year, my playing partner at the time for four ball was more like a mentor to me, and now last year I was a mentor to somebody, and this year I'll be a mentor to everybody. As a veteran, I think I have the third or fourth most appearances on the team in this current iteration. So just want to make sure everyone is prepared. And again, it goes back to preparation. It's just you got to know the rule differences, brush up on what is different in match play and what is not different, and how you need to conduct yourself in match play, and not to give up on a hole. You could be line four on the green, and someone could be chipping three, and you don't want to get all upset. I've seen this happen where you get upset and just concede the hole. Well, what if that guy just blades one into the water? Make him chip it. Make him put it to where it is a no doubter you've lost the hole. But if you're conceding holes where someone's still not even putting, I mean, it's just mental lapses. So we want to prevent those.
Was there any disappointment on your end not making the team as a player?
Of course. I mean, I've had a rough 2021 with injuries, so I'm really just struggling right now to come back from a ligament tear and a broken bone in my foot, and had a labrum tear in my shoulder. So it's been a struggle for me with my game and getting my swing back, but I'm playing better now. I feel good. I'd say I'm 95%. I haven't felt this good since March, back when I was playing really well. So I'm disappointed I didn't make it this year. I tried really hard, but I was honored that the team and Travis chose me to captain, because they know I've had a rough 2021 injury and golf wise. So next year I'll be back at it, and you can bet money on me to make the team next year.
All right. Hey, there you go. I'm going to go back to this point in this interview, and I'm just like, you know what? Because I am going to put money, because, there's going to be some damn takers out there. You know that for sure.
Yeah. I missed the team my first year on tour, and it motivated me to make it the second year. And so, I mean, I've made the team as a second flighter, first flighter, and a championship flighter. So I've improved from 18 handicap down to, I think my tour handicap's 2.9. So
Wow.
I'm an inwardly motivated person, and no one will work harder over the off season than me. I can promise you that.
That's what I like to hear, man. You got some of that Tim Tebow right there, man. That Tim Tebow talk right there. And I think that's what appeals really the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour Series does for guys like, somebody a low handicapper like yourself and somebody like a high handicapper like me, is that it appeals to all levels. And like you stated, you went in as an 18 and now you're in low. You've really chopped that down. And I think that's what a lot of guys that want to consume, put their time into something, want to do. And it seems like that's what Travis and y'all, as being part of his ambassadors or part of his volunteers and his crew, that are doing for just the regular guy that wants to go out there and scratch that competitive itch.
Yeah, and it's I mean, yeah, if you're a competitor, I like to tell people it's a good stepping stone to start getting into state tournaments if that's where you're trying to go as a low handicap. Or if you're a mid or high handicap, every division, it's its own tournament, really. So every flight is its own tournament. You're not competing against the championship fighters. You're competing against everyone in your flight. So it's always equitable. And the system and the point system has been tweaked here and there over years, and it is just about as good as it's going to get, almost perfect. Yeah, there's always ways to exploit the system, or there's always a way to get screwed, so to speak. But that's sports. No sport's perfect, right? We see it all the time. Even in instant replay, they get it wrong. So it's just, as they say, the rub of the green. But it is as equitable as I think it's going to get. But we're always talking about new ways to do it. And I'm an analytics guy, so I will make spreadsheets and databases, and I will analyze strokes and stuff like that. And I will tell Travis my opinion based on those analytics. Hey, you had this idea, and I think it's actually going to be more unfair to this handicap range by this many strokes. Or I think this is a great idea. It's actually going to affect everyone equally and make life good for everybody.
Favorite course on the tour?
On the tour,
Oh, the tour trail.
So it's a two-part answer. On tour, I love playing at Cedar Creek. I just think that it frustrates a lot of people, and I've come to learn that you got to play Cedar Creek the way it wants to be played. My overall favorite course on trail is just Breckenridge Park. Just a classic course. I like going out there knowing I'm not going to lose a golf ball and get all frustrated. And can really work on my game. And I like that Monday through Wednesday in the afternoon. It's pretty empty, so I can play 2 or 3 balls and really work on what I want to work on.
I agree with you there in Brack. It's just, especially there, maybe playing a little sundown golf, and you feel the spirit of golf there, man. You do. You kind of feel
Yeah.
the time that it has, and that it's got that majesticness to it. And if golf is in your soul, you love that place.
Yeah, it has great majesty. It's easily walked. I like to just carry my bag for 9 holes, or maybe I'll go 9 through 12 and head back in. 9 through 12, play 18, stuff like that. So I think it's a good way to get a little exercise. I sit in my chair all day and go out there, carry my bag, get a little walk in, play 2 or 3 balls, or chip 2 or 3 balls, or throw one in the bunker and get some bunker work. Uh, Obviously within reason. Sometimes there's guys out there and you just got to play for real, but usually Brack's pretty empty Monday through Wednesday. It's Thursday through Friday where it gets a little more packed.
What's something that somebody in your group can do that can get you rattled?
Um, I mean, I think most people would agree that I am pretty even keeled. There's no set way to rattle me. I mean, the last time I got rattled on the golf course was not even a playing competitor or partner. It happened to be a marshal. Came up to us at Stream Song, and yeah, that one rattled me pretty good. Uh, but for the most part, I'm pretty even keeled. I don't get too high, I don't get too low, and you won't see me get upset on the golf course too much. I won't throw my bag. I won't throw a club. And at worst, I'll get frustrated and throw a ball into the woods or something.
All right, I need to hear the story. I want to hear it. What happened?
Oh, Marshall came up to us at Stream Song and accused us of playing like a 6.5 hour round, even though we were going to finish in like 4:20 or something like that. Even after we pointed out to him he was wrong, he was still a huge douche about it. And as a manager, I was just thinking to myself, like, I would fire this guy, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, I mean, I just couldn't believe how bad that customer service was from the marshal at Stream Song Resort. And I don't want to badmouth all of Stream Song. It's obviously just one employee, but I reported it and still didn't hear anything back from the resort about it. So
Well, that
it's
lets
a
you know
source.
what type of management they have.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a sore spot for me because the golf course is beautiful and the facilities are great. And I guess I'm just used to the tour travels, going to all these places and having top-notch customer service, and I wasn't used to not getting it. So now I know where to temper expectations a little bit.
Hey, I guess Travis has got y'all spoiled.
Yeah, we're always him and I are always asking for quotes from places to see how we can bring 16, 24, 32 tour guys out. We really like traveling with the guys, and I think they really like playing little tour events. They're not official tour events, but we set up Golf Genius. We set up the leaderboards. We share it out. People back home can see who's doing what at Whistling Straits, and that's always fun for people to watch a 0 handicap put up a 90 and just think, holy shit.
Well, I told Travis, I said, dude, man, I've been a fan of, and I've been following y'all as you've done your travels. And I said, I have to be a part of the next one. I said, I don't care where it is. And he was giving me his spiel. He was trying to sell me on it. And I tell him, I said, bro, you don't have to sell me. I want in. What do I have to do to crack the code to get in?
Well, I'll let Travis know. We actually have a wait list right now for the official Wisconsin trip, but we'll try and put together a 8 or 12-man interstitial trip that happens before Wisconsin, and then there'll of course be the fall trip somewhere. So keep your eyes peeled. We're always talking to different golf resorts, and we're always flying out some of the ambassadors and trying out facilities at different places. And so, like, we went and toured the Tampa facilities, and so we're going to try and plan some trips around Stream Song and World Woods and stuff like that. So we're always looking for easy to get to and somewhere that'll give us a good price and where we can make value for the guys to go out and have fun.
Damn, dude, my mouth is salivating over here, dude. I'm ready. I'm chomping at the bit, man. I'm chomping at the bit, bro.
Absolutely. They're a ton of fun just hanging out with the guys. And I mean, they've been no drama so far, which is great, and just a lot of good times, and of course everyone telling stories and whatnot. And have you had Patrick on yet?
I have had Patrick on. Yeah,
Oh, did
I
okay.
just had him on.
All right. So I guess I can't tell you to ask Patrick about the Eagles Nest story, so we'll have to save that one for another time.
I'm gonna have to find that one on my own because I'm gonna be there at the practice. I'm gonna be there at the practice round. I know Patrick just recently said he wasn't gonna be able to be there, but I'm so thankful that Travis is bringing me along for the ride, and I just want to be like a fly in the wall, a fly on the wall. You know. All right, last question here, brother. Who are you playing your final round of golf with?
I mean, my dad doesn't play golf, but I would enjoy having him out there with me, and my mom and my sister, I guess. Just my family. I know popular ones is like picking celebrities and whatnot, but if it's my final round of golf, it's going to be the people who supported me. Probably going to need a fivesome or a sixsome for that, but it's just going to be the people who allow me to be gone on weekends and not bitch about it, or just bitch pequeño.
Pequeño, just right, just enough, right? Just enough. Well, hey, Jason, I appreciate it, man. I look forward to getting out there and getting around in with y'all guys and being part of the crew, man. And I'm so thankful that Travis is taking me along for the ride to document this stuff. And thanks what y'all do for just the regular guys like us for continually improving the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour Series.
Yeah, we're always looking to make it bigger and better, and so having your podcast come along and document what we're doing. Hopefully make other guys realize that we're having a ton of fun out there, but still playing competitive golf, and we're doing it at an affordable price. And there's other ancillary benefits to joining the tour, which is absolutely free to join. Just sign up for a tournament. So hopefully we can reach new people, and new friends can come out on tour.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Now tonight this evening today, I have Jason Sandoval. He is one of the team members for the South Texas Matchplay Challenge representing San Antonio. So he's going to give us some insight on the upcoming match. Hey, Jason, thanks for joining the show, brother. I appreciate your time.
Hey, Andy, thanks for having me.
All right, let's start it off right here. What got you interested in joining the tour trail?
Well, I found the trail in a library at Texas A&M doing a quick Google search. I was in my last semester, and I knew that I was going to come back and live in San Antonio after I graduated, and I don't really remember why, but I remember just searching like San Antonio golf tournaments. That's all I searched, and a couple of things came up, and then the trail tour came up, and I was like reading kind of like how the process worked because it's spelled out pretty good online. And so I was sitting there in the library and signed up for my first event. And at that time, I was coming to San Antonio, between College Station and San Antonio, quite a bit that semester. And so it just kind of made sense for me to come back for a weekend. That's how I found it.
Now, you're a veteran member of this South Texas Matchplay Challenge here. Mm-hmm. Now, what really is that one of your goals, I guess, as the tour series goes throughout the year? Is that one of your goals in making the team?
It's 100% my goal. I think my first year, I kind of did like a half year and got on the team kind of by way of the playoffs. And I had no idea really what that meant at the time. But, now that I know what it means and I've been on the team once, I think that's, maybe the newcomers don't really know what it's like. And so maybe it's not a goal for them. But once you've been there, you've seen or you've been through the playoff experience, I think it's everyone's goal is to be on the team.
Now, what are some of the things that you look forward to the most in going to the South Texas Matchplay?
I love match play. I think match play is something that we don't do enough. I try to play match play as much as I can. So I think the opportunity to get to play and be a part of all that gamesmanship and the process, I think that's a lot of fun. And I look forward to the travel. I think Wildcat's a pretty cool course to play, and so I think hosting an event there is a pretty cool deal. There's a lot of people involved. Both groups are there at the same time. I just think it's a lot of fun.
So as you look forward to the gamesmanship and the match play, what are some things that keep you coming back besides being part of this team to the trail events?
I think I first of all, I think starting my first tournaments, my first organized tournaments were on the trail. And I think those tournaments changed golf for me. Like before golf was casual, and when I started, I was playing a lot, pretty frequently, but it was always with buddies and it was never serious. And I don't really think of the scores I shot before starting to play tournaments as real anymore, because I never played by rules and I didn't know proper, drops, and I'm never hit a provisional off a tee before I started playing, in the trail tournaments. And so once I started learning the rules and how organized events run, I think that changed golf for me. But I think it's a lot of the guys. I think we have we have a lot of good golfers, and all the way through all the flights, it's extremely competitive. I mean, the flights are just getting year over year, they're getting more competitive and more competitive. You really can't have an off day and somehow walk away with a gift card. Like, everyone will tell you that they've played super well and have missed, third place by a couple strokes. And that's just how it is now.
Well, I want to know what handicap and what flight do you play at? Because I know at that Willow event, you were done like super early as you were driving around, checking out everybody. And I'm over there grinding and struggling on freaking hole 13, man. And, you got your sandals on, you're chilling out, you're doing what I wanted to be doing at that time, is taking it easy, having a drink, but I'm freaking grinding it out on the course.
Yeah.
So I know you got to play a lot earlier than I do.
I was cheering you on, I was like, hey man, just stick with it. You're telling me, you're like, yeah, it's not going so well. And I'm like, hey man, you got this.
You know what? And I grinded out a bogey just because of your encouragement, and I appreciate it.
There we go. Saved you maybe a couple strokes, who knows? But no, when I started, I remember I didn't really have a good idea what my handicap was when I started. And so when I signed up, I was like, I think I'm a 12. Like, I think, I can shoot in the 90s. I'm not going to shoot in the 70s. And, I'll shoot upper 80s or stuff like that. And so I signed up as a 12. And right now I play, I think my tour handicap is like a 3.3 or 3.5, something like that. And then my gin is a 0.9. So I think
that's badass, brother. But I know, because we know one of our mutual friends, Jeff Keeker. Yeah. And I know y'all play, if I'm not mistaken, right? Y'all play in the same flight. And what flight is that?
We play in the champ flight.
It's tough, man. It's doggy dog, man. It's doggy dog looking at y'all's scores, man. It's tough to come out of y'all's flight.
Yeah, I love you'll be playing and you'll come across somebody like, hey, how you doing? And some guy's like, I'm in dead last and I'm 4 over. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm 3 over, so I'm dead second to last.
Okay, well, let me tell you. All right, so it was I think that first playoff event at Willow, right? Mm-hmm. And what Travis tells me, I don't know, I can't remember the number, 82 players, 88 players, something like that. Mm-hmm. Out of all the people that have made it to the next round and couldn't commit this, that, and the other, they were only cutting one guy, right? They're only cutting one person.
Yeah.
You're looking at him.
No. Was that you?
It was me.
Oh my God. You're like the last person drafted in the NFL. Like,
Mr. I'm Mr. Irrelevant. That's what I'm, Mr. Irrelevant.
With all due respect. I didn't mean to be mean, but I was like, I don't know who that guy's going to be, but I hope it's not me.
Out of all the people, there was only one person cut, and that was me.
Yeah,
I was playing with house money,
I probably see that as difficult to pull off. So I'm gonna praise you. I don't know how you did it, but you did it.
All right, favorite course out there on the Alamo City Golf Trail?
Well, I think if you show up to Willow or Brack on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday afternoon, you'll probably see me. I'm probably at one of those courses a couple times a week at least, if not both of them. So I love Willow. I think it really reminds me of the course that I started playing my golf on, which is the campus course at A&M. And it's just kind of wide, and the greens, it's not the easiest to make your birdies, but there's not too many doubles out there. And so I think it's just a lot of fun. And then I think Brack is awesome. I think when you really get down to it, when I look at Brack, I actually see it as a lot more difficult than people think, because there's a lot of everyone sees the scorecard and sees 6,400 or whatever, and they're like, oh my God, this is the easiest. And then they try to score and they're like, wait, but I just 3-putted and this green is like 20 feet wide and 20 feet long. How did I do that? And I think it's, or all of a sudden I'm in this bunker and I can only see the top of the flag. And I just think I'm a big, I like a lot of challenge in my golf. Like I love the bad weather. I love the match play. I love the like little intricacies of like green complexes and stuff like that. So I think Brack is very interesting to me.
Damn, dude, Jason, I remember meeting you that first day. I think it was at Riverside. You were playing with our group with No Loss. And you know what? Now that I'm learning what type of player you are, dude, I can't stand guys like you. Because you remind me a lot of myself. Like I'm just like you're talking about. It's like, man, you like the grind. You like it tough. You want it to be. You want somebody. You want to drag somebody through a battle. And I'm like, shit, I hate guys like you because that's the type of guy I am.
I'll tell you a quick story. It was about 2 weeks ago, and I'm sitting there at work in my office, and I'm looking at the Weather Channel, and I'm like, oh, shoot, it's like 20, 22 miles an hour, 25 mile an hour wind. And my first thought was, I need to get to Willow as soon as possible and go play in this wind. That was my thought. So I was out there that afternoon, and I think I hit like a 350-yard drive on number 2 because it was straight downwind. And then number 3, or there was another drive I hit that was like 220 dead into wind. And I was like, I just love that. It changes everything.
Damn, dude. It does. It makes it easy to go out in those rough conditions. And I'm like, or when you see something, someone's crying about 20-mile-an-hour wind, 30-mile wind. I'm like, this is nothing, right? Like this is. Hey, I look forward to making it happen.
I've got a nickname for the wind. I call it Winston the wind. And you got to be friends with Winston. If he's blowing left to right, then you better shape your ball left to right because he'll help you if you know how to play with him.
Damn, dude, I don't play well with others.
Winston the wind.
All right, so tell me, what is something that somebody in your group can do? Just giving you a heads up, I'm at 2% right now. So if it shuts down, hey, we're good. I'll finish it. I'll finish it out. All right. So just giving you a heads up. Okay. So what is something that somebody in your group, one of your playing partners or somebody in your group can do that can just irritate you or kind of get under your skin during a round?
You should ask Travis about this. I've only gotten mad one time on a golf course in my life, and it was because someone shot a net like 63 or 64 that cost me $100. That was pretty upsetting. But if it's like in the group, stuff like that, I think that when people read, like take a lot of time to read those like 40-foot putts, and I'm like, bro, you're not going to make this. Just lag it. Like, you know what it does. It just goes left to right, and it doesn't do anything crazy. You know that. So just get behind it once and just lag it. But when people are like walking around and like reading it from all sides, and there's like a 1% chance that they make it, I'm like, dude, you just wait. You wasted everyone's time. I don't know what you're doing.
Who are you playing your final round of golf with?
Who am I playing my final round of golf with? I'm playing with my dad and my brothers. My dad is probably the one that's kept me involved or, kept me golf, at least a part of my life the whole time. And I play with him all the time. We only play match play with each other. And then my brothers, one of them doesn't like golf at all. He gets bored, but we take him out. We've been golfing a good amount of times. And then my other brother, I've tried. COVID got him a little bit more involved in golf, and he's actually played some trail events himself. And so I think, it's a perfect group of 4 for us.
That's awesome, brother. All right, last thing right here. What do you think is going to be some of the toughest things that you and maybe your playing partners are going to have to deal with as you go to Wildcat?
Mm-hmm. I think some tough things is I think that the newer people are going to feel pressure. And I think it is solely kind of just based on like how we build this event up, in our minds. And then once we get there, it's kind of a big deal. But I would say to that is I think they've already gone through more pressure, which is the season and the playoffs and even getting there. I think that's, they've already gone through that. So they should be able to, feel calm.
Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please visit my website, www.NothingisOB.com. You can hit me up on different forms of social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. NothingisOB is my handle. Also, please check out my YouTube channel, NothingisOB, South Texas Golf Podcast. I'm on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud. Please click the subscribe button. You can leave a comment, rate, and review. It's how it helps me grow the podcast. I truly thank you for all your support. Remember, in the game of life, nothing is OB.